It was December 29, 1972. Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a brand new Lockheed L1011 TriStar, was descending into Miami. The pilots were focused, but for the wrong reason. A burnt-out landing light, a blinking switch, a collective distraction in the cockpit. And in just 2 minutes, the plane vanished from radar, crashing into the Everglades. Today, we take you inside the cockpit to understand the fatal mistake that changed aviation safety forever. Flight 401 departed from New York's JFK Airport at 21:20 Eastern Standard Time, carrying 163 passengers and 13 crew members. Captain Robert Loft, 55, was a veteran with over 13,000 flight hours. First Officer Albert Starkstill, 52, and Flight Engineer Don Repo, 30, were experienced professionals. This was no routine flight. It was the first revenue flight of the new Lockheed L1011, christened Gemini 2. The crew took pride in showcasing the aircraft, with expectations high and spirits even higher. As they neared Miami, the crew switched to approach mode. Among multiple cockpit procedures, they noticed the nose landing light wasn't working. Let's fix it, Captain Loft decided. But at 2,000 feet, distracted by a burnt-out light bulb, the crew failed to notice the disengaging autopilot. They grew engrossed in searching the electrical panel under dim cockpit lamps. Multiple times, the autopilot disengaged silently, sending control back to the pilots. The plane, now coasting without trim, started a slow, unnoticed descent. High workload and fatigue in a dim cockpit overloaded the pilot's attention. The VSI, vertical speed indicator, dropped to 0, but no one saw it. The autopilot's disengagement eliminated the subtle elevator pitch that would alert pilots. And as they fiddled with bulbs and switches, the plane kept sinking into the dark Everglades marsh below. At 23:42 Eastern Standard Time, Captain Loft looked up. "How's the altitude?" he asked. Flight Engineer Repo answered, 2,000 feet. Then another glance, 1,500. It was too late. At around 11:43 p.m., the L1011 struck the Everglades at about 470 miles per hour. The wreckage strewn over 10 acres, it caught fire instantly. Only 75 survived. It was a non-event within the cockpit that became the greatest mistake any crew could make. Rescue crews found survivors tangled in swamp brush. Among them were a 5-month-old baby and several passengers who crawled to U.S. Highway 27 for help. Investigation led by the FAA and NTSB studied flight recorders, cockpit voice recordings, and wreckage. The findings were bleak. There was no mechanical failure, no foul play, just a deadly chain of distraction and degraded situational awareness. Many questioned why such an experienced crew missed multiple autopilot disengagements. Enter human factors engineering, automation complacency, trusting systems to remain engaged. Task fixation, hyper-focusing on one task at the expense of others. Loss of situational awareness, not noticing the slow descent. The concept of the Swiss cheese model emerged here, where multiple minor gaps, pilot workload, no altitude cross-check, partial autopilot status, aligned perfectly, allowing disaster. The crash led to major industry changes. A rigorous sterile cockpit rule, no non-essential tasks under 10,000 feet, or mandatory autopilot awareness checks during approach, or introduction of GPWS, ground proximity warning system, across fleets. It changed crew resource management and cockpit design forever. Eastern Airlines honored the lost by naming a training facility Flight 401 Aircrew Training Center. Flight 401 taught us a burnt-out bulb, a blinking switch. Small issues can become fatal when priorities shift. In the cockpit, every second counts. If you're a pilot, learn this story. If you're flying, remember what happens behind the scenes. If you found this video insightful, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real crash investigations. It's not just history, it's safety.